delivered. Guam AutoSpot is extending our overstock sell-off with the hottest deals on island, like our 2025 GMC Canyon with $4,000 off. Or slide into a brand new Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, starting at just $24,995. September is your chance to drive big and save even bigger. Visit us today or get pre-approved online at guamautospot.com or call 478-AUTO. Guam AutoSpot, where the savings never stop.
Buy fuel, get Wendy's. Drive to your nearest 76 Circle K and get free Wendy's. Yes, free. Fuel up with $30 and score your choice of a 6-piece crispy chicken nuggets or a juicy junior cheeseburger deluxe. Fresh, hot, and packed with flavor. But hurry, quantities are limited and this delicious deal won't last long. So hit the road to 76 Circle K, fuel up, and get Wendy's free before it's gone.
It's me, Wednesday Addams. I regret to inform you that I have devised the meal of misfortune with Wendy's. Normally, I'd be against this type of capitalistic corporate synergy. But when the other pigtailed provocateur said I could concoct my own Frosty, I melted. My meal is tribute to the suffering that awaits us all. It's pure torture for your taste buds, with 4 nightmarish dips of dread. Don't waste my time asking which ones you'll get. You must surrender to your fate. Enjoy the anguish.
Dare to try? Something new? Life's too short!
You gotta chill with the snackable drink.
Life is too short. Hey, you gotta chill.
Mogu Mogu.
Moku moku! Kandit News is brought to you by 76 Circle K Guam.
Good afternoon, my dear friends. It is 2:48 p.m. on Friday, September 26, 2025. My name is Troy Torres, and as I promised you this morning, I was going to be back for a second live cast. I'm going to do a third live cast tonight. There's just so many things to dispose of before this weekend. Before I take my 1 day of the week break tomorrow. And what I wanted to talk about was this was something that made the news last night was the government's newest response to the contamination of water in Jigo. And matter of fact, it's the contamination of water where I live. I am a resident that is affected by the dieldrin the elevated levels of dieldrin in the water. Dieldrin is a carcinogen, which means it is cancer causing. It is a carcinogen. It's a pesticide that was outlawed decades ago, 3 decades ago, because it's too dangerous for human or pet consumption. And so here's the short of it, of what we know and what we don't know. Okay. What we know, according to Guam Waterworks Authority, if you still want to trust Guam Waterworks Authority or the EPA, because I'll tell you this, I have a very hard time trusting GWA. I had a hard time trusting GWA before this whole Dildren thing because of what they're doing over at on their Ukadu wastewater treatment plant property, and how we, the ratepayers, are going to be on the hook for a $200 million liability through damages in court if Cortec wins its cross lawsuit against GWA for GWA and DLM first bringing a stupid lawsuit against Cortec regarding some land issues, right? So already had problems trusting GWA then. Yeah, I'm stupid, I'll admit it. Ever since GWA said that they fixed their problems, this is not the first time that we've been here in this situation. Remember Hanum Taki, right? Remember when GWA wasn't doing its job and E. coli was filtering into the water system and getting people sick. And this was happening throughout the island, which that and a whole bunch of other things led to a stipulated order that the Justice Department and the U.S. EPA sought against Guam Waterworks Authority and the government of Guam, which then required GovGuam and GWA to pump hundreds of millions of dollars into the modernization of the system, and which led to the 2011, that was back in 2003, 2004. And then in 2011, the consent decree happened. And so, hundreds of millions of dollars later, GWA was able to, at some point during that time, say the water is safe to drink. And so ever since that whole Hanum Taki thing, that's when bottled water became a big thing on this island. Before that, we were all drinking water from the tap, or we would all go to the little, there were just a few of the water stores. Just some of us were doing it, right? And then all of a sudden there was the Hanum Taki, and then everyone started buying bottled water or going to the water stations. Then water stations popped up everywhere, right? And so, over the past several years, I didn't normally do the water station thing. I'll get my 5-gallon jugs, whatever, right? And that's the majority of the water that I would drink, but I would cook with the water from the tap. I would feed my dogs with water from the tap. And it was because GWA all these years said the water's safe. Now we find out, and in an area where I live, the water is not safe. In fact, it is contaminated at levels that has potential for long-term cancer. And so what we know about this, if you can trust GWA, is that from December last year to July 30 this year, a series of samples that were taken were averaged. And on July 30, a report was sent to GWA to say, look, it's more than the acceptable levels of dildren in the water in this area of Jigo. GWA knew on July 30th. Now, there is a debate as to how far back GWA knew that there was an unacceptable amount of dildren in the water. Some say 2023. Others say December of 2024. Lawyers are trying to figure all that stuff out right now. Okay, because there's the possibility of a class action suit that's lingering. So they know on July 30, GWA, Guam EPA, the government of Guam, the administration, they know. They don't say a darn thing until September 10 when they go to Upi Elementary School and they tell them, don't drink the water. Stop the kids from using the water at the sinks. You just do not use the water in the kitchen to prepare the food, nothing. We're going to be back. And then they came back on the 11th and they installed filters. I don't even know whether those work. And then on September 12, GWA sends out a notice through the mail to a little more than 1,100 households that they believe are affected by this. And that mail pamphlet that they send out, that's all they do. I don't know if they talk to the mayor, and if they ask the mayor, hey, mayor, can you go around with the loudspeaker, or can you help us to go door to door? We still have to talk to the mayor about this and ask, what did GWA do when you guys found out on September 10, 11, or 12? Did they ask you to help out with getting the word out, because according to the residents and according to me, because I'm a resident, I didn't even get that pamphlet in the mail, by the way. I didn't. So according to residents who attended a town hall meeting last week Thursday, they weren't notified until people started talking about it. Hey, did you get this in the mail? Did you see this? Did you understand this? Did GWA call you? Did anybody knock on your door? Nothing until the town hall meeting. And then at the town hall meeting, they made it sound like it wasn't a big deal, that they had done their job, that they had put information on their website. They sent it out. They sent it out in the mail or whatever, right? So essentially what has happened is that for a certain amount of time, the government of Guam has been feeding at least this area of Jigo cancer-laden water, knew about it for a certain amount of time, didn't say anything for a certain amount of time. And that's bad enough, right? That really is bad enough. You would expect that when this whole thing just sort of blew up in the media and at the town hall meeting, at the very least, where the residents very clearly were scared and upset, you would expect that an immediate, rapid response from the government of Guam to fix things. The very first thing that would have been said by the governor of Guam, the acting governor of Guam, the speaker of the legislature, the head of EPA, the head of GWA, the chairman of the CCU would be, everyone, we got this wrong. We screwed up bad, and we're getting together to fix it. I have yet to hear a single freaking apology from any of our leaders about poisoning the water or about this poison in the water, because they don't know who did it. They don't know who's responsible, but they knew. They're not saying, I'm sorry for the fact that we knew for all these months or all these years and we didn't tell you. We didn't do our jobs like we were supposed to and tell you so that you stop drinking the cancer water. They didn't do that. They didn't present to us any plan. Right now, we don't know. There are more questions than there are answers. And one of the bigger questions is it really contained to just this area? Is it really just these 1,100 some homes or areas or buildings or counts? Or are more people affected? There are still debates going on in the governor's office media chat. Not debates, but information going back and forth in the governor's office media chat about how many wells are affected. Is it just one? Is it two? Because according to a video message from the acting governor Josh Tenorio last night, it's 2 wells. Well, what are these? Who's fed by these 2 wells? According to information in Adelup, it's Jigo and Dedido. But according to Adelup, the well going to Dedido has been shut off. There's a whole lot of information that we don't know. But you know what we didn't hear from acting governor Josh Tenorio in that special address that he gave last night was, I'm sorry, everyone. Our government screwed up. We didn't hear that from the head of GWA, from the head of the CCU, from the administrator of the EPA, from the speaker of the Guam legislature. But what we are getting from our government, we're getting fagagot. And here, I want to play for you the special address of the most fagagot to all of us. Gaslighting. They created this problem. They hid this problem from us. And now you have, I don't know why. Maybe it's to deal with the scandal. Maybe it's to take attention away from the scandal, that the Tenorio scandal that is surrounding him. Issuing this special address like it means anything. Saying that you're going to release $250,000. That's what this emergency is that you're declaring through an executive order. What's that going to do? You're going to buy all of us Brita filters? Is that what you're going to buy us the Brita pitchers or the filters? For I don't even know if those will work. What the heck is $250,000 going to do for us? And is this all that the government of Guam is doing? Because you guys couldn't even say sorry. So here's that address by acting governor Josh Tenorio now. so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. It's about it's nearly 3 minutes long. Don't worry. Let's just play it, and so you guys can hear what he has to say if you haven't heard it already.
My dear people of Guam, by now many of you are aware of the growing crisis in 2 water wells located in Jigo. Like you, I am alarmed by the information we know, and even more alarmed by what we don't know, including the source of this contamination. After receiving the latest updates from the Guam Waterworks Authority and the Guam Environmental Protection Agency on their plans to decontaminate these wells and ensure our people are safe, today I have signed an executive order declaring a state of emergency that will get them across the finish line quicker. Through this action, I have made up to $250,000 immediately available to protect the health and safety of our families and neighbors who depend on clean drinking water every single day. With this, GWA has the resources to act quickly to get safe drinking water to affected families. It enables GWA to immediately procure filters and other supplies, like point-of-entry systems that can filter water before it even reaches the taps in our homes. The order also mandates transparency from GWA and the Guam EPA, as they work to eliminate this unacceptable danger to the health of more than 1,100 families. Verified information is critical to ensuring swift action, and I am mandating both agencies to establish hotlines to answer your questions. We will be sure to share these numbers widely once available. I have also ordered other emergency measures, like the monthly testing and public reporting of testing results of these affected wells, and the regular updates on GWA's efforts to treat and clean these contaminated water systems. Recognizing the lengthy process to clean affected wells, we have also engaged with federal partners like US EPA and the local military commands to augment our efforts with federally controlled supplies and equipment. We are here to ensure that GWA and Guam EPA finish this critical effort and stand ready to make their jobs easier and get results faster. This executive order was drafted with the cooperation of GWA, Guam EPA, and in consultation with Jigo Mayor Francis Lezama, a process that took some time to get finalized but was needed to ensure we weren't burdening agencies with impossible mandates, and that it would complement, not compete, with their ongoing response efforts. All of us in Guam must be concerned with the safety of our drinking water across the island, including these 2 wells that serve Jigo. We must remember that water is life. This sustaining resource must be cherished. It must be protected. It cannot be taken for granted. It is our collective responsibility to protect it and to act whenever its safety is threatened. Si Diyos maasi, and may God bless Guam.
They're really going to act like they're coming to the rescue after the government just really. And their action, their heroic action is, I have signed an executive order declaring a state of emergency. And all that a state of emergency means in this case is you get to use $250,000 through emergency procurement. And the very first thing that comes to mind, sadly, as a resident in the area where the water is contaminated with cancer, is please make sure you're contracting it right and that it's not going to the benefit of your family. What a sad state of affairs that we're in, where we don't even know which is worse, the cancer of water or the cancer that is corruption. It's kind of hard to figure out where do we go from here, because it kind of feels like there's nowhere we can go but up, right? But we can't even assess how far down we are. We're not even entirely certain about where in the ground we're supposed to step while we're on it, so that we can take a step up and another step up and another step up. It feels like everything's just crumbling all around us. Our institutions are jokes. There's integrities out the door. You can't trust the water agency when they say the water is safe to drink. If you can't trust that the water is safe to drink, my goodness, How does the government expect us to trust anything else? And then everything else that's going on. I don't know. Such a sad state of affairs, right? And we went from billions of dollars infused into our island through the pandemic and having it all. We went from the highest gross island product in our history just 7 short years ago, best tourism ever. We went from great government of Guam finances, and now we're here, where the water has cancer in it. For Kandit News, I'm Troy Torres. See you all later on tonight with another live show. And this time, we're going to talk about housing. I love you all.
You asked, we delivered. Guam AutoSpot is extending our overstock sell-off with the hottest deals on island, like our 2025 GMC Canyon with $4,000 off. Or slide into a brand new Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, starting at just $24,995. September is your chance to drive big and save even bigger. Visit us today or get pre-approved online at guamautospot.com or call 478-AUTO. Guam AutoSpot, where the savings never stop.
Dare to try something new? Life's too short.
You gotta chill with a snackable drink.
Life is too short. Hey, you gotta chill.
Mogu mogu.
Maku maku.
Buy fuel, get Wendy's. Drive to your nearest 76 Circle K and get free Wendy's. Yes, free. Fuel up with $30 and score your choice of a 6-piece crispy chicken nuggets or a juicy junior cheeseburger deluxe. Fresh, hot, and packed with flavor. But hurry, quantities are limited and this delicious deal won't last long. So hit the road to 76 Circle K, fuel up, and get Wendy's free before it's gone.